Hey there folks, it's Mark Johnson from tech-snobs.com. Today we're going to do a review on the Sony Tablet P. Now, I must say I've been using this extensively over the past week or so, and it's a pretty decent device. I'll say for the most part it is very pocketable, it's slim, fits in the pocket well. But my overall impression of it, unfortunately, kind of like a lot of other Android tablets, is just overpriced. And I'm going to get into, the reasons on my thoughts on that, but just kind of going over the hardware. Pretty nicely built. This nice plastic on the back. The way you pop the batteries out, you're pushing these two little buttons here, and then you got a 3080 milliamp hour battery, and you have your micro SD slot down here as well, which it's pretty nice. And then what's a little weird is that you have to put your SIM card in. You need to push up and slide out, and then your SIM card goes in here at the top. Now this does support 4G, but it's not LTE 4G, so you're not going to get speeds nowhere near as you would say on like the new iPad or some of the newer Android devices on AT&T. But this is a very unique design, and I say it does turn out to work well for what for the type of product this is. It's just the problem with it that I see is that to really use this effectively, you're going to need to have Android developers making apps for this. And, even though it's a, cool clamshell design, you can sit it up, want to watch movies, and I'll show you an example. We're going to go into an app here. Let's see where it's at. There's a music player app. And this even looks a little cool. How at the bottom it shows some of the artwork, and at the top you can play some of the music. And it works out pretty well. I mean, it looks cool. Sony has added some nice little touches to some of the apps here. And when we go through, even the menu system itself, it does fill up the full screen. Problem is though, is like, it's not the case for everything. And some of the apps, if they weren't done by Sony, they don't fill up the whole screen. So it's like you'll have black bars on the the right hand side of it. And it definitely takes away from it. But I will show you some of the cool things. What I do like, it does have a little PlayStation symbol here on the front, and in spite of that, this is Crash Bandicoot comes on. I like how the controls on the screen are. So you can you can go ahead and play the game, and it controls rather well. Now, with that being said, this game, they came bundled on here, came out in 1996, and it's okay, but you're just definitely expecting more. You know what I mean? It's just nothing where it's gonna blow you away. And kind of, when you look at stuff like they got the PlayStation Vita out there, I think it just directly competes with this. And it's just for the simple fact that they're both similar in size. From holding it in the hand. And it's just, now obviously this can do more. You can get online, you can play, music, but it only has 4 gigs of space on the device. So you're definitely going to need another card. And the staggering thing about this product is the fact that this product is actually $549, no contract, and it's $399 with a contract for 2 years. And I just can't imagine anybody paying that price. I mean, it's actually more than an iPad, the new iPad itself. So like, why would I want to go on and pay $549 for this device, and it just doesn't really do anything outside of it folds up and goes into my pocket well? I mean, that's really the main thing. Yeah, you got the PlayStation thing, games and apps, and it has its own PlayStation Store. But you can go into, you can go buy a PlayStation Vita for $249, and I don't know, probably at least buy at least 4 games, and still not be at the same cost as this with no contract. So it's just a big problem for Sony. I mean, it's sad too, because I definitely like Sony. I like their products. But I just read that they laid off 10,000 people yesterday, and I also read that they lost $6.4 billion. And I think it's just, in my opinion, I just think they believe they're like Apple. And, they're just marketing their products in such a high price point that just no one's just going to buy this. I mean, if this thing were $300, I think it would be a good, price point for it. I mean, getting an Android and so forth, but $549, $349 is just very hard to recommend. Now, this doesn't have ice cream sandwich on it yet. It is going to get it soon, so hopefully, that'll, fix some of the performance issues. But it's just your basic performance issues as on any Honeycomb device. I mean, it is pretty zippy for the most part. I want to say it's got. Let's look at the exact version. It's got 3.21 on here. Battery life it's okay. It's nothing really all that great. I mean, it does have Bluetooth on here. And everything on here just pretty much is the same thing you would see on every other Android. Even compared to the Sony Tablet S, which is $399. I mean, even still, I mean that's a better product than this itself. So, this is okay. Unfortunately, its biggest hurdle is its price. I mean, it does have a nice design. It's unique. The split screen can be distracting at times, just because it's a pretty big barrier here in the middle. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, I really can't, judge it too harshly based on the fact that it's only been out maybe a little over a month. But I really would be surprised if this thing doesn't drop in price sooner than later, because I just can't imagine anybody paying the $399 or $549 asking point for this, and that's basically just the biggest downfall. I mean, it's I hate to say, it comes down to price, but for what you're getting, as far hardware wise and performance wise for the money, it just you can get a Transformer Prime on Android, which is definitely the best tablet you can buy on Android at the moment, and that's $499. So once again, they've lost here. But I will say this: I do like this pinball game that came with it, little PlayStation game, and it is pretty cool. I do like this, but it is what it is. There's plenty of pinball games out on the market that you could pick up and play. So that's pretty much it. I mean, this is a short but sweet review, and like I said, if you play with Android tablets, there's really nothing on this one that's standing out. There's really no specific Sony apps on here that you do have DLNA, you do have you got the Pinball Heroes and the Crash Bandicoot as the games, and then everything else is just standard. I mean, you can get some of the Sony Video Unlimited, and you got the PlayStation Store. And even when you go into the PlayStation Store, let's go ahead and see if we can get in here. I want to look at some of the prices of these games again. Yeah, I mean, you got games that are $5.99, and I'm not paying $6 for any of these games. None of these games are worth that price, and that's just the truth. I can't recommend buying Destruction Derby that came out in probably like $95 for $6, when you can you probably can go on the iPhone or iPad and download a free game that's better than that. So it's sad to say, but that's the truth. And for the current price, I can't recommend this product. But we shall see if Ice Cream Sandwich and a price drop make this more attractive in the future. All right, it's Mark Johnson from tech-snobs.com, and take it easy. And I'll see you again follow me on Twitter at @atechsnob, and also check out the site at tech-snobs.com. Take it easy. Bye.